Hi, friends. This is Miss Lauren, and I am being joined by Miss Jenna on the sidebar, and we're here for another storybook reading from the UC Summer 2020 Storybook Series. We're going to wait a few minutes so other friends from around Ohio or wherever they are can log on and read the story with us. Are you guys excited to read the story this morning? I'm excited to read it to you. We're going to talk about some things like what are called literacy skills. Literacy skills include the orientation of the book. So we're going to talk about where the cover is, where the pages are. We're going to talk about turning the pages, how you hold a book. Some other literacy skills are talking about words. So we'll talk about which words are big and which words are small. We're going to talk about letters and things like big letters or uppercase letters and small letters, which are lowercase letters. And we're going to talk about some language stuff. The language stuff we're going to talk about today is called categories. And being able to put things in categories and to name things that are in categories are an important language skill. It helps you to organize different stuff in your head or to organize concepts. So we'll wait. Yeah, I love categories too. There's so many fun games you can play with categories. I'll show you some. We'll talk about some when we're reading, then we'll play a game at the end, and then maybe if you love it so much, you can go around talking about categories with your moms and dads at the end. So we'll wait about one more minute, and then I'm going to show you the book that I brought. And it's a special book that I brought today. It was a gift to me on my birthday last year from one of my best friends. So it's very special and it has a very nice message in it. Well, are you all ready to get started? I am ready to show you the book I brought today. It is called Hug Machine. The title of this book is Hug Machine. And you could probably guess that was the title too, because right here on the picture, you see a little guy hugging a mailbox. And that's right, you don't even have to hold your hugs off just for people. You can hug just about anything, as we're about to find out. Now, we have been talking about a special word that has to do with books. The special word is author. Do you remember what the author of the book does? The author of the book writes the words in the book. Did you remember that? The author of this book is down here at the bottom. His name is Scott Campbell. His name is Scott Campbell. So we have the title up here on the cover and the author down here on the cover also. When I turn around the book, it's called the back cover. And if I turn it just a little bit, we have the spine of the book. So this is the back cover. This is the what? Front cover. And when I open the book up here, we see the inside, and here's the first page. And if you look on the first page, what are we getting into? The first page up here says Hug Checklist, and look at all of these things on the checklist. Do you recognize any of these things? Let's see if we can find these things in our book. Here's the title again. Do you remember what the title is? The title is Hug Machine by Scott Campbell. And remember, we read from left to right. Here are the letters again. Hug Machine. Here we go. Whoa, here I come. I am the Hug Machine. Here he comes. I am very good at hugging. I am the best at hugging. Not good, not better, but the best at hugging. No one can resist my unbelievable hugging. I am the Hug Machine. Now, the last words I read are here at the bottom because we read from left to right and then we read from top to bottom. And I want to look at some of the words on that page. And someone said, wow, what a skill to have. I agree. That skill is one of the best because you spread so much joy and happiness when you give good hugs. Sometimes you have to ask if it's okay to give hugs, but it's always really nice to hug people you love, like your family. So let's take a look at some of the words down here. I'm going to talk about some of the big letters and some of the small letters. I see 3 big letters, and by big letters, I mean capital. On the last sentence, it says, I am the Hug Machine. What are the 3 big letters you see in this sentence? Here's one, here's another, and here is the last one. I, H, M. I for I, H for hug, and M, for machine. I am the Hug Machine. Let's keep going. Let's turn the page. It says, my hugs calm people down. They cheer them up. They make them go completely nuts. I am the Hug Machine. Look again, this is the same sentence and it has the same capitals. I, H, 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 and M. You can make those sounds too. Capital H is H and M is You put your lips together, for Wonder what he's gonna hug next. Let's turn the page to find out. I hug everything I see. No one escapes the Hug Machine. What do you see him hugging in here? I don't see him hugging any people, but I see him hugging objects. They're mostly objects you can find outside. Some things you can find outside are a fire hydrant, a bench, a mailbox like the cover, and a tree. I hug trees sometimes too. I'm a tree hugger. My hugs make the biggest feel small. Look, it's a big bear. What are some other things that are big that you can think of? Name a few things that are big, like a big bear. I can think of a big ship is a big thing. What's another thing? A house can be big, a big house. What's one more thing that's big? Like the bear. You can have a big bed. Do your mom and dad have a big bed? A bed is a big piece of furniture. Let's keep reading. So he says, my hugs make the biggest feel small and the smallest feel big. The turtle is small. What are some other things that are small? A turtle is small. You can have small food, like rice is very small. What's something else that's small? Name something else that's small. I can think of a small rock. Let's see what else happens. I hug soft things like a sheep. What's one more thing that's soft? A pillow is soft. I hug hard things like a rock. What's something else that's hard? A brick is hard. We're starting to think about things that belong in categories. You're doing a good job. Let's keep going. I hug square things like an ice cream truck. What else is square? Look at my book. My book is square. Long things like a slithery snake. Let's make that sound like a snake. Snake is long. What's another long thing? Think of one more long thing. I can think of a long thing. A hose, a water hose is very long. I am the hug machine. You can say that with me. I am the hug machine. Here's the capital H. Here's the capital M. Oh, do you need a hug? I think you do. There's nothing the hug machine will not hug. Hug accomplished. What about me? I am so spiky. No one ever hugs me. He looks very sad because he's spiky. And why do you think that no one hugs him if you're spiky? Probably because he has these points and they would stick ya if you try to hug him. So what do you think he's going to do? Do you think he's not going to hug him? Let's make some predictions. What is he going to do? I think he's still going to hug him. I think he's probably going to use some protection. Let's see. They are missing out. And he does hug him. He is wearing protection. He put on his oven mitts and tied a pillow around his waist and is wearing a mask so he doesn't get poked by the spikes, and says they are missing out by not hugging you. Oh, here comes another animal. He says, what about me? Sorry, I am too big for you to hug. That's how whales talk. They talk long and deep because they're so big. We thought of some big things already in our big category. So now we know a bear is big, a whale is big, and those things belong in another category. They're both animals. A bear and a whale are both animals. Can you think of another big animal? What's another big animal? Like a whale. What about an extinct animal that used to be on Earth but is no longer because he's extinct? The dinosaur is a big animal. I'm turning the page. He said, am I too big? Of course not. Not for the hug machine. And he solves the problem again. He just gets up on a ladder, doop, 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 and he hugs him inch by inch. Hug, 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 whoop. There's the page. People often ask what the hug machine eats to keep the hug energy high. What do you think he eats? Well, the answer is pizza. The hug machine likes pizza very much. I like pizza too. What category could you put pizza in? Pizza is a type of what? Pizza is a type of food. It's something you eat. Refueled and ready for action. Here he goes. Hug, 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 hug. Look at all these people he's hugging. And then look at this page. He doesn't stop. He keeps on going. Who is he? He is the hug machine. Do you see our capital H? I see it a lot of times. It starts every one of these words, this word with 3 letters. Look, H-U-G, H-U-G. They're all the same word. H-U-G, capital H, lowercase u, lowercase g. Hug, hug, hug. I'll let you look at this picture a little bit longer because there is so much going on with the hug machine guy. He hugs everything, doesn't he? Hug! He hugged you. Thank you, hug machine, for the nice hug. What a tiring day of hugging. The hug machine is exhausted. Ooh, look at that word right here. The last word is exhausted. Now, we're going to talk about what a long word is and what a short word is, because hug, H-U-G, right here, H-U-G, that only has 3 letters, right? Look at the last word on this page, exhausted. That has, right here, let's count all those letters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 letters in exhausted. Do you know what exhausted means? Someone said, man, he is wore out. That's the right answer. Exhausted means worn out. He's tired. He's pooped. He is ready for a nap. He's exhausted. A long word. Hug machine can hug no more. Let's turn the page. 9 letters is a lot of letters, way more than the 3 letters in hug. Oh, why, yes, you may hug the hug machine. Hug machine is always open for business. Who do you think that is that he's hugging at the end? I bet you that's his mom. I love my mom. I will give her a hug any day, just like the hug machine. Now, boys and girls, that's the last page. That's the end of our book. How'd you like that story? Do you think that sounds like anything you do in your life? Can you be a hug machine sometimes? What are some things that you would like to hug? I'll tell you some things I would like to hug. I have 3 dogs, and I sometimes hug every one of my dogs. I hug my family. I hug my big sister and my dad and my mom and my grandma. What else do I hug? At night, I hug something on my bed. What are some things on your bed that you can hug? You can hug a pillow. You can hug a stuffed animal. Someone said, I love hugging dogs and family too. That's right, because you love them. And giving a hug, if you can ask first, you don't want to hug people that don't want to be hugged, but if you ask first, giving a hug can be a nice way to say, I love you. And someone else hugs their pillows too. Well, guys, when we were reading that book, we were talking about some things that belong together, some objects that kind of share some similarities. And do you remember what that word is? The word is category. Category. Now, I cut out a little hug machine. And the hug machine, you know, he'll hug everything. But In this game, he's going to hug just the things that belong in the same category. So I'll tell you the category and show you some objects, and you tell me which objects belong in the category I tell you. Okay, ready? Here we go. The first category that the hug machine wants to hug are objects that belong in the category animals. So here we go. I'm going to show you some things. You tell me which ones are the animals. Can you see? I have a little girl, a baby, another little girl, then a dog, a duck, and a frog. Which ones are animals? Is a little girl an animal? No. Is a frog an animal? Yes. Is a baby an animal? No. Is a duck an animal? Yes. Is a dog an animal? Yes. Is a little girl an animal? No. Here comes the hug machine. Hugs the animal, the dog. He hugs the duck and he hugs the frog. Can you think of another animal? Tell me one more animal. A giraffe is another animal. Here's our bonus question. A little girl, another little girl, and a baby are what? What category are these? It starts with a P, a P. They're all people. They're all people. And you know what? They can have a hug too. Let's do our next category. The hug machine, the next category that he's going to hug are things you can find outside. So here we go. I'm going to show you a lot of things and you tell me which ones you can find outside. So look at all of this stuff. We have a rose, a necklace, a feather, a ring, a bracelet, and a pine cone. Which ones are things that you find outside? Do you find a feather outside? Yes. Do you find a ring outside? No. What about a bracelet? No. How about a pine cone? Yes, you find a pine cone outside. What about a flower? Do you find that outside? Yes, you find a flower outside. And a necklace? No, where do you find a necklace? Not outside, but inside. We're ready for action. Here comes the hug machine. He hugs a pine cone that you find outside. He hugs a flower that you find outside. And he hugs a feather that you find outside. What's another thing that you can find outside? I can think of another thing that you find outside. Can you? You can find what's something that starts with a grr that you find outside. You can find grass outside. Good thinking. Bonus question. What kind of category are these objects? A bracelet, a necklace, and a ring. These are all jewelry. Did you guess jewelry? Good work. Let's do one more category before we go. The last category that the hug machine wants to hug are vehicles. Now, do you know what vehicles are? Vehicles are things that you can use to get from one place to another, or things that you can drive. So here we go. Getting my stuff ready, and you're gonna help me pick out the things that are vehicles. Now, what do we have here? We have a fire truck, an apple, a strawberry, a car, a motorcycle, and an orange. Which ones are vehicles? Is an orange a vehicle? No. Is a motorcycle a vehicle? Yes, I am on a vehicle. What about an apple? No. A fire truck? Vroom. Is he a vehicle? I am on a vehicle. What about a car? Is a car a vehicle? It's like the others. It has wheels and you can drive it. It is a vehicle. And what about this strawberry? Is this a vehicle? No, not a vehicle. Here comes the hug machine, ready to hug his vehicles. Hug! H-U-G, hug! Hug the motorcycle. H-U-G, hug! Hug the fire truck vehicle. Can you think of another vehicle? What's one more thing you can use to get from one place to the other? What's something else that has wheels, like the fire truck and the car and the motorcycle? I can think of something that starts with a b, b, b sound. A bicycle is a vehicle. Also, this one doesn't have wheels, but it can take you across from one part of the sea to the other. What's a vehicle that you can put in the water that also starts with a b? A boat is a vehicle. One more question for our bonus round. I also had an apple and an orange and a strawberry. Do you know what category these belong to? Now, if you're guessing fruit, or food, you're right, but they're also a special type of food called fruit. They are all in the fruit category. What's another object that you can put in the fruit category? What's a yellow fruit that's long? How about a banana? Did you guess all of those categories? Good thinking today. Now, before we go, thank you so much for joining me for this story time. And remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get updates on when we go live or when a new video is posted. We'll be doing summer book story series every day at 10:30 and at 12:30. You can also like our Facebook page and our Twitter page. The links are located right down here at the bottom. Thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.